What's up, folks? It's your boy Rico the Plug with the RapHustle.com. Look, okay, so yesterday we had the greatest performance the Super Bowl has ever had with Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, I said it. I said it. The greatest performance that a Super Bowl has ever had. And because of the reasons I'm going to prove to you here in this video. Now, I probably said it on my platform ever since I knew that Kendrick was doing the Super Bowl. I said, this guy here is about to go on the Super Bowl and do something that them white folks are gonna regret that they had him on there. I told my wife this, and I told anybody else who would have listened to me. Because I feel like I kind of understand, well, I do understand Kendrick Lamar's plight when it comes to this music and this hip hop and our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, one of my first favorite songs by Kendrick Lamar is a song called High Powered. If you haven't heard that or seen that video, I highly recommend you go watch that video. And because of that, it was because of that album that I knew that he would be in the situation he's in right now at the top of the game. To me, he reminded me of the new future Tupac. You know what I'm saying? And I told everybody that before he was even signed to the industry. I said, this is the new Tupac Shakur because I like what he stood for. We hear a lot of people saying that was a boring Super Bowl. Woo wop the bam. He could have did this song. He could have did that song. But these are the people who don't use critical thinking skills to pay attention to what's really going on. They only listen to music, but they're not really paying attention to what's really going on around them. So without me talking about it, because I don't want to just be tooting my own horn, I found a clip that was put together by Tisa Tells on YouTube. It's other people's interpretation of what they seen. And it's funny to me that a lot of white folks seen it and a lot of you black folks had no idea what the hell was going on. This shows how disconnected we are as a community, man. You know what I'm saying? We just want to turn up and get high and do all this dumb shit that we can't even pay attention to real shit when it's in our face. We don't even recognize real shit when it's in our face. So I'm going to let this video speak for itself. Tisa
The most
Tells put
affordable
together this
12-month
clip of
GLP-1
people
program with the same active
reacting
ingredient as Ozempic and
to their interpretation of what they saw at the Super Bowl, and I want y'all to pay real close attention because for two, I mean for Kendrick Lamar, it was his opportunity to express his art the way that he expresses his art, and also make a statement that they can't wipe away now. The statement is already there. And the more that it keeps coming out with the Easter eggs that was put into this, the more that they're gonna regret that they had that man on the stage because they have to look at it like this. This man just came in here. He performed. He definitely gave us a great performance. But if you wasn't paying attention to what was really going on the screen, then you really didn't understand why he said the revolution will be televised and that they picked you know what I'm saying, it's the right time, but the wrong guy. You see what I'm saying? And what he meant by that was because I'm not the guy that you would usually pick. I'm not the person that you think that I am. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pick me because y'all want to hear me diss Drake. Yeah, that's cool and all. But do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? The man is highly culture motivated. And with that being said, he put together a show that spoke volumes without him saying anything. And just the visuals that they put together will be stuck in people's heads for a long time. And the more that you go back and pay attention to the Easter eggs that was in there, the more you realize that he just made a statement during Black History Month in the United States. A big statement. A real big statement. And I believe that statement was, this country was built off of our backs. It is our influence that rules the world. We are the culture. Remember, he said that during the Super Bowl. I mean, during the Grammys. He said, "We are the culture. Fuck everything else." The black people in this land of America is the heartbeat of the fucking world. Period. Point blank. But I'm not gonna just speak on what I know. I'm gonna let these other people speak on what they seen. This is a clip put together by Tisa Tell. Salute to Tisa Tell. She got some good journalism. If you never watched her, go follow her on YouTube and check out these clips she put together from people who observed the Super Bowl the same way that a lot of us with critical thinking skills observed the Super Bowl. So for the people in the back who said, "Oh, it was whack. Oh, he could have did better. He could have did song. He could have did that song." You got to know that he does everything intentionally for a reason, and everything had a meaning. So sit back, relax, watch this video, and get some kind of guys into what really happened on that Super Bowl on that platform last night. Check it out. I'm gonna turn this on.
Matter of fact, y'all need to.
Hold on.
White people, I want to give y'all a quick shout out. Black people, y'all could stay too. Matter of fact, y'all need to stay because y'all embarrassing yourselves in front of company. So y'all need to hear this. For tonight and tonight only, white people have separated themselves into exactly two parts: perfect overt racism and perfect understanding of what Kendrick Lamar did. I have not seen one confused white person. I have not seen one white person say, it was boring, it was bad, it was mid. I've only seen them say all the bad stuff because Kendrick Lamar did what he did, or they're so enamored to the point where they're explaining 40 acres and a mule to black people.
So imagine the majority of the white folks that watched that performance, they understood what was going on. It's us as a people who have been lost in these drugs, lost in this bullshit that's been going on in our culture, that we can't even recognize what's real in our face, man. That's crazy, man, when you think about it. But let's cook.
Which apparently needs to be done because there are black people who are confused about what they saw. And for that, I'm confused for y'all. This man got the NFL to pay for a protest, and y'all are confused about what he did. You want a karaoke? He got the NFL to pay for a protest. And y'all wanted bops? You wanted to sing along to every lyric? You were confused about Samuel L. Jackson. The minute Samuel L. Jackson pulled him and his top hat out, you should have clocked it. You should have known what time he was on. Matter of fact, the minute they told you Kendrick Lamar was performing, you should have known what type of time he was going to be on. But
that's a true statement right there, man. That's fact, because I knew. When I heard he got the Super Bowl, I'm like, man, that boy finna go up there and make the biggest pro-black statement that them folks is going to be mad that they let that boy on that damn stage, and that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so proud of him for doing it because, you know what I'm saying, it was what I expected. I expected that. I didn't expect for him to do to perform the Not Like Us. But when you think about it, all that ties into that whole situation because they're Not Like Us. He called Drake a colonizer, nigga. You colonize our talents to make yourself look good within the eyes of the culture, but in all actuality, bro, since this beef happened, since this has happened, it's almost a year now, and we ain't heard no good music from you or nothing. You had to go to Australia to check in. But let's cook.
say you didn't know. The minute he said the revolution would be televised, you should have known. The minute you saw all black people on the stage, you should have known. It was not a performance, it was a protest. What do y'all not understand?
Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl was whack. That was one of the worst halftime shows.
Now look at this corny ass Barney Fife looking ass dude. Listen to how he sounds. Listen to what he's saying. This is like the representation of the folks who's out here talking about what is going on, what was this, this sucks, this whack. Listen to this guy and his reasoning for his understanding about what happened. and who he was with that night. Listen to him.
Protest. What do y'all not understand?
Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl was whack. That was one of the worst halftime shows in recent memory. First of all, Kendrick Lamar is not mainstream. Like, people do not know those songs. The white people at the Super Bowl party that I was with, he may as well have been speaking.
The white people that he was with, they had no idea what songs them were that Kendrick was singing, what that was about. And that's cool, fam. They not like us. They wasn't supposed to know that. But you were supposed to know that. But of course, looking at this guy, you could tell he's been raised in a community where the people around him may have fairer skin than him. You know what I'm saying? Or he chose to hang out in that sector of life because he's not like us. This is the type of guy that Drake would hang out with. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of guy to go get his nails painted with Drake and think he had a great time. You feel me? But yeah, let's keep it moving.
Speaking Mandarin. All right, because nobody knew these songs. Nobody knew what he was rapping about outside of Not Like Us, obviously. But nobody knows these songs. Second of all, Blickety Black, I'm so much blacker than you. Halftime shows are very passe. Like, that stuff peaked in the BLM era. It's very not of this moment.
He took that as a diss to himself. He was in that. He was watching that shit and felt like it was a diss to him. He felt like Kendrick was saying he was so much blacker than him. Cause that ain't what I got from it. I didn't get that he was saying that he was blacker than us. I didn't get that at all. But that's what he got. Because that's how he looks at other black people. Because he hangs out with white people, so he look at other black people like, oh, just because I'm black and I hang out with white guys doesn't mean that you're blacker than me. The fuck is he talking about? Let's keep it moving.
Very much does not work. And also, it's been done better. So at this point, nobody cares. Third of all, 43-year-old mother of two, Serena Williams, in a bad blonde wig, like crip walking, is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed for her.
So you can't be embarrassed for a woman who came from that culture, who grew up with people crip walking around her all her life, fam. That's a part of her culture, bro. You could be embarrassed for yourself for wearing that brown shirt. You look like a young Yogi Bear or something, man. Go grow a mustache or something, fam. Do something with your damn baby face. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's how you have to dress in the corporate world. You can't grow a mustache or a beard. You can't do none of this. You know what I'm saying? You can't do this. Not in your corporate world with your white folks. They won't accept you if you grew a beard, maybe. I don't know. I don't hang in them sectors, but bro, Serena Williams crip walking was perfect, fam. Ain't nobody embarrassed. She shouldn't have no reason to be embarrassed. What are you talking about? That's her culture. That's where she's from. She's from Compton, California. Where you from? Orange County? Stupid ass.
She should be embarrassed for herself. It's just all really, really passe. There is nothing about that halftime performance that worked. So what I need to tell the NFL, Rock Nation, anybody that's doing that Super Bowl, try to make a show that's for all of America, because that was not for all of America. That was for like a fringe that knows Kendrick Lamar and that knows, his raps. Like, you're not going to tell me that that man is mainstream, that this is some mainstream superstar whose songs everybody knows, because I am telling you, the people that I was with, those white people at this place that I was with were looking at each other like, they didn't know what was going on.
All right, my white friends didn't know what was going on, so we're going to have to do better than this next time because we got to satisfy my white friends. Does Kendrick look like your white friend, homie? Bitch, was you not paying attention to the fucking battle? You know the song Not Like Us, that's for people like you, my mans. It don't got nothing to do with no skin tone, bro. You might as well have been played the Uncle Sam role. Because that's how you acting like a Sambo, fam. Talking about the white folks didn't understand it. If they didn't get it, they didn't understand it. That's on them, fam. It wasn't for them to get. Did you get it? No, you didn't. You felt offended. You felt like those guys on the field are way blacker than me. Why are we watching this? That's what it sounds like to me, sir. But yeah, let's keep it moving.
All right, I didn't know what was going on. It was whack. It was boring. It wasn't cool.
Listen, I get an older generation doesn't understand Kendrick Lamar, but the amount of women who were like, well, didn't get it. I didn't understand. Somebody said, we need classic performers for halftime. What do you want, Bon Jovi to show up? You want to call the Eagles? That's what you go to the Spheres for. Okay? That's what you go to the Sphere in Vegas to see the Eagles. The people who perform at the Super Bowl are on the pulse of pop culture. I'm so sorry that this is like yacht rock.
So we're about to get into.
So this girl here, she gonna break it all down for the ones in the back who didn't catch what was going on last night. I suggest y'all pay attention. If you doing anything else right now, stop for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Give us about another 17 minutes of your time, man, so you can figure out what the hell was really going on that field last night and why it will go down in history as the best performance at the Super Bowl. I'm not just saying that because it was Kendrick Lamar. I'm saying that because when people start, just like his music, when they start analyzing and seeing what happened, it's going to send a shockwave all throughout the United States and throughout the world, because the man just went up there, like the lady said, and put a protest together. Did you understand that them dudes was on a prison yard that was made like a street? It was like a prison yard made into the street signs with the street lights and stuff. They're playing the game. Yeah. Y'all pay attention. Let's get it going.
A deep dive of all of the symbolism that was shown throughout Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. And we are going to start from the beginning with Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam was used in the early 19th century as a depiction of America personified. He was a representation of American pride and patriotism, but also propaganda when it came to recruitment and war. When it comes to accuracy, Kendrick Lamar could have easily chosen a white man to play Uncle Sam and to narrate the performance. But instead, he chose Samuel L. Jackson, who has also played this role in Django as an Uncle Tom. And in the movie, he was in love with his white slave.
I knew I was underwater. I just didn't realize I was this underwater.
Forgive me for the commercials. We're gonna keep it moving.
He was in love with his white slave owner. And Uncle Toms within culture, especially Black culture, are Black men who are not only obedient, but also uphold white supremacy. And so we see perfect examples of that through Kanye West, Snoop Dogg, Nelly. And so going back to Samuel L. Jackson here, a Black man dressed in all American gear, I think is a clear depiction of they're not like us. It doesn't matter what your skin tone is. And then also going to Welcome to the Great American Game is a double entendre, because we're obviously watching the Super Bowl, but he's talking about the game that is America and being Black in America. And so to start his performance, Kendrick is standing on top of a 1987 Buick, a Grand National GNX, which is also his album name, GNX. And not only that, this is also clear representation of his upbringing in Compton, but also the car culture in Compton as well. He starts his performance off with a freestyle where he talks about no hugs and no handshakes because he's not playing nice.
I just want to build on that. GNX 2 is also known as an American muscle car. It was made in 1987, which is the year that Kendrick was born into America. You know what I'm saying? So if you put that symbolism together, the American muscle car is all Black. You can't find the Grand National Experience in no other color but Black. And it was the fastest car next to Porsches and everything else. So you just put that together with why he named his album GNX. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving up.
Nice. And that you wouldn't get the picture if he sat you for hours at the Louvre. I think that represents the political climate that we're in now, whereas there's no time or no room for niceties right now. Either you get it or you don't. At the end of his freestyle, Kendrick Lamar says, "The revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy." which is a play off of Jill Scott Heron's The Revolution Will Not Be Televised song, which was a critique on the American media, saying that they only focused on propaganda, consumerism, and entertainment. But in order for real change, people had to step out of their homes for liberation, for protest, and for freedom. You had to be actively involved in order to fight for justice. So with Kendrick saying the revolution will be televised, you chose the right time but the wrong guy, is him saying that you chose the perfect person for this performance. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Kendrick then performs Squabble Up, and before he could even finish, Samuel L. Jackson comes in and says, no, 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 too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Kendrick Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up. And this is clear conditioning within white supremacy and America, which is that Black people should be docile, Black people should be quiet, Black people should be grateful for scraps. And playing the game goes back to being obedient. Kendrick Lamar then performs Humble, Be Humble, Sit Down, with his dancers dressed as the American flag and a division between the flag that represents a clear division within America. We've barely scratched the surface and this video is getting long, so follow for part 2. After Humble, Kendrick goes right into DNA. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. And that means it doesn't matter how much conditioning and how much brainwashing America places amongst Black people, greatness and resilience will always be the result. Yeah, there's trauma, but there's always triumph. Right after DNA, Kendrick gets into Euphoria, which is one of his diss tracks towards Drake. And Kendrick did not waste any time with being petty because he's already wearing an A minor necklace. He's letting it be known. After that, Kendrick goes on to perform Man at the Garden, where he's underneath the streetlight and surrounded by his boys. After Man at the Garden, Samuel L. Jackson comes on to say, I see you brought your homeboys with you. The old culture cheat code. Scorekeeper, deduct one life. Black people are highly surveillanced in America. The obsession with Black people and Black culture is unreal. So when he says to deduct one life, that to me means to unalive, get rid of Black cultural leaders such as Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton. And the list can go on and on. After that, Kendrick goes on to perform Peekaboo. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. Kendrick then goes on to talk to his Black female dancers where he says, I want to make a move. I want to play their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. He's definitely talking about that white woman Drake. And also keep note that on the field, you also see an actual game controller, the PlayStation game controller. Kendrick then slows it down by performing his songs with SZA, and Samuel L. Jackson comes out shortly after and says, that's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants, nice and calm. Don't F this up, and Kendrick goes on to perform Not Like Us. He starts off by saying 40 acres and a mule, this is bigger than the music. After slavery was abolished, 40 acres and a mule was a promise that was made to free slaves from the government, which was 40 acres of land and a mule so that people had their own governance of their lands and their resources, but that promise was never made. Kendrick goes on to say, yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. Black people, Black culture are the most influential people on the planet. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. This goes outside and beyond of just America. Black people, Black culture is influential. As he's performing Not Like Us, his dancers lay out like this on the field and underneath the streetlight to represent the outline of Black bodies that have been unalived. Kendrick then continues to troll Drake on one of the largest stages on national television. And I already spoke about this in my very first video, so you could go check that out and the symbols in that, but this is what I'm also living for. All in all, I hope that you learned something from this 2-part series. And also, if there's anything that you notice, leave it in the comments. I want to keep the conversation going. Kendrick is a genius. The symbolism is iconic. And I'm just so, so proud.
Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime.
I liked her breakdown. I feel like it was good for people to understand what was really going on, especially the people who didn't think that it was a good performance. You had to understand Kendrick Lamar is just not a rapper. He's a visual performer. All his videos, since the time he's been in the music game, has always had messages in his videos. Everything he does with intention and to spark your mind. That's why he said, I make music that electrifies them. Put some electricity in you, some juice, some wattage up in you, make you move forward, make you feel like you're a part of something. And that's why this performance was so dope, is because it was in your face and under your nose at the same time. If you didn't understand it, you wouldn't understand it until you get these Easter eggs and people telling you like this what the performance was really about. So let's see what other people had to say. Check it out. Leave a comment what you think about the Super Bowl. Did you like it? I mean, the performance. Would you think it was good or not? If you didn't think it was good, then are you getting a clearer understanding about what it was by watching these videos? Just leave a comment. Also, make sure you sign up for the RapHustle.com. If you're an independent artist that got music, videos that you would like to be promoted and marketed, sign up, create your Hustle's profile page, and let's hustle together. Let's get back into this video. Check it out.
The show was packed with messages most people missed. The dancers' outfits weren't just red, white, and blue. Those were prison uniforms. A statement on black institutionalism, not patriotism. And when the dancers turned their backs, that was a message that this country was built on the backs of black people. Then the bell-bottom pants was the symbol of rebellion, a nod to the 70s when an artist used fashion to fight the system. And the PlayStation symbols flashing on stage wasn't random.
That was one thing I noticed a lot of people were commenting on too, talking about his pants. I didn't understand them either, but now this guy just made me understand why he wore those bell bottoms. Bell bottoms were a sign of rebellion back in the 70s, when people started creating their own styles and wearing their afros and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? To separate themselves from the colonialism of America back then, when people were just wearing suits and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's why if you watch the Martin Luther King protests and stuff like that, they was always dressed in suits and dresses. When the 70s came, they started being rebellious by the dress code. This is where we get hip-hop fashion from, the rebelliousness by the dress code. We don't dress the same as the normal American citizen does, you know what I'm saying? Which brings more eyes to our culture and make people want to wear the things that we wear, you know what I'm saying? Like this Jackai clothing, you dig? But yeah, let's keep it moving.
PlayStation's slogan is, live in your world, play in ours. Kendrick was exposing how the system treats real life like a game, and black people were the ones being played. And the Gloria Dodgers jacket was a tribute to Gloria Molina, the first Latina elected in LA, who fought against oppression. Kendrick was standing with all marginalized communities. This wasn't just a performance, it was a message.
The whole point of Kendrick's Super Bowl halftime show, and I need you guys to gain some media literacy, please.
Now, this is for all the folks in the back who, once again, said that the performance was bad. You didn't understand it. Here we have a young Caucasian lady that can break this down. And it doesn't make sense why we have a lot of black folks saying that Kendrick could have did something else, he could have did. Like, come on, man. Y'all need to come up off of that. Whatever Kool-Aid y'all been drinking, y'all need to throw that shit out, pour that shit out, get you a smoothie or something, you know what I'm saying? Find you something else to drink, because whatever y'all been drinking on for the last 10, 15 years, man, it ain't good for you. That's all I can say, but let's check it out.
And if you didn't understand it, that's okay. Let me just show you. I'm shutting up about this for the next billion business days. So bear with me, because I literally just Googled the halftime performance and took as many screenshots as I could. But having Samuel L. Jackson represent Uncle Sam is huge for so many reasons. First of all, Uncle Sam used during wartime propaganda to show, like, the typical, like, American man, quote unquote American man, was white, was, like, you know, etc. having him be a black man, and not only that, have him be Samuel L. Jackson, which is part of so much cinematic history and usually portray these really sinister, vital characters, have him portray America in this current context is already insane. Like, it's, oh my god, so good. Plus, side note, beautiful costuming. Anyways, so having Samuel L. Jackson be there, be kind of the ringleader, let's say, of the whole ceremony, and policing Kendrick and what he has to say is symbolic on so many levels. Having him say, oh no, you're being too loud, you're being too this, you're being too ghetto, he said the word ghetto, is so symbolic. And then once Kendrick is in a more silent and slow ballad part, he says, see, this is what the American people wanted, like, this is what they wanted, etc. And he gets interrupted by Kendrick starting to play Not Like Us, which he previously said as Uncle Sam, like, oh no, we don't want that, it's too this, it's too that. And so deliberately going against him and saying that is so symbolic as well. But then let's get to one of my favorite parts here. Again, I'm sorry about the picture, but this whole scene was absolutely insane. Having, first of all the dancers dressed up in red, white, and blue, symbolic. Having them all line up like the American flag, symbolic. Having it split down the flag, symbolic. So they had all the dancers, who were black, by the way, represent the American flag, so the U.S. While the current administration is trying to remove all traces of DEI from this country's history, from its current political nature, from everything relating to society, is so symbolic. And having Kendrick be like, no, see, we're here, and this is the USA, and having them all lined up like that, and then go down, like walk down and touch the floor, which is a huge no-no for anyone in the US. Like, you're not supposed to have the American flag touch the floor. Like, it's really bad luck and it's extremely disrespectful. And so during the song Humble, having all of the dancers go down and touch the floor, like, it's, oh my god. And then having Kendrick in the middle showing the divide of the United States is also absolute insanity. And also I love the costuming, like, they were all so good, but like, there's so much symbolism happening all the time. It's so in your face, but also like you have to dig deeper for it. And so, oh my god, like, this is one of my favorite parts. Now for this part of the set design, I haven't really seen anyone talk about it yet. Like, I've only seen a couple of videos of this whole performance as a whole, but it was mainly people just talking about the main facts and points and things like that. But I just want to take a moment to talk about all of this, because someone that I was working with was saying, oh, like, it's so boring, like this, that, whatever. And I'm like, no, it's symbolic for so many reasons. But like, obviously, like, you see the X, the circle, the triangle, etc. It's supposed to look like a PlayStation. Why? Because they're playing the game of life. They're playing the game of the great American dream. They're playing with people's lives. And having the main center part, I think, prove me wrong, but I think it was supposed to look like a street, but also kind of look like a prison jail yard. Okay, bear with me. What if they're playing with people's lives? You know, what if they're doing all of that and having them walk through, like, and stuff? Oh my god, there's so much to it. Like, I could analyze this for hours, but like, this is just what I saw, and it was insane. And having people be like, no, it like sucks, like, where's the fire, where's the flames, or this, that, whatever, like, I was just kind of like, no, guys, this is so good. There's a reason why Kendrick is like the only rapper with a Pulitzer Prize. Like, he does everything intentionally and embeds so much history and like references and things to everything that he does. Like, it is insane. I loved it so much. Wait, I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about this. Like, this is one of the most important parts. At the very beginning of this performance, he said, the revolution about to be televised, you picked the right time at the wrong guy, which right. So the right time, 120 million viewers. The wrong guy, I'm gonna let you take some guesses about that one. Yeah, the wrong guy. Yeah, so he's calling it out for the world to see, and then goes on to do one of the most amazing performances that I've ever seen. And it doesn't need like pyrotechnics to make it so symbolic, and people are gonna be talking about this for decades. This was so good. Like, Kendrick, you are amazing. I love you so much. And SZA, you ate that up too. But I do not want to hear one more person talk about how boring this was or whatever, because here, I just spelled it out for you. But I'm sure there's so much that I'm already missing, and I'll probably look back at this and be like, girl, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? But like, this was so good. So good. Love.
The part that I don't hear people talking about is how revolution being televised, but then
Before I go into this lady's explanation, wanted to touch on some. The white woman was speaking about the DEI, diversity, equity. What is it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion program, and a lot of people associate that with the black community. I guess because it was the black community that fought for diversity in the schools, diversity in the restaurants and stuff like that, that they, you know what I'm saying, kind of think that that's about black people. But the statistics show that the DEI programs mainly help white women to get jobs and things like that. The black people are at the bottom of getting anything from the DEI program, so when they start thinking that that DEI program stuff is about black people, it's kind of like, yeah, because we fought for diversity in the United States. That's probably why, but yeah, but they benefit more from those programs, like white women and other cultures that may have come here from different countries and stuff like that. They're the ones who benefit off of that. You know what I'm saying? The black people don't benefit off of that, so that's just my rebuttal for that one right there. Let's see what this lady's talking about.
to someone better squabble up. Basically saying, let's get it going. Let's do it. What are y'all waiting for? And they were all in red at that part. One's talking about squabble up. Well, revolution is not pretty. It will involve some BLOOD shed. Let's just be for real. Red stands for anger, war, rage, right? If y'all catch the symbolism, it's a lot going on with Aries, the transits in Aries during this month of February and March. And we're not going to skip over that 40 acres and a mule part. Because all things aside, we love to talk about, you know, getting our student loans forgiven and all this extra stuff. But everybody forgets about that 40 acres and a mule, about our reparations. Okay.
I saw this image in the Ultimate Viral profile, and I think this is the most poignant image, most striking image from the Super Bowl halftime with Kendrick Lamar. This is an image that I don't think I will ever forget, and I hope that people do not let slip or like go right on past them, because I saw this, the white reminded me of...
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house no matter what condition it's in. If you need to sell your house for...
Of like the chalk outline of, you know, a dead body at a murder or a crime scene. And this is so important to memorialize in our collective minds. I don't know that I've seen any more important message symbolized, like symbolism in any halftime show at a Super Bowl. This will go down as, I think, one of the best, not like, oh my God, vocal singing, blah, 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 kind of like a Super Bowl, but like one of the most important Super Bowls of our lifetime. And feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what was the number one image that you remember that you think stood out to you from the Super Bowl, besides him saying the revolution will be televised. Yeah, he went in.
So the more that I rewatch this performance, the more that I realize this is a clear call for a revolution. Not only does he come up and say that this revolution will be televised, you picked the right time but the wrong guy. You have Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, who is the embodiment of America. When he asked, do you know how to play the game? That is America physically asking Kendrick if he knows how to. There are many layers to that statement because he's a black man in America, but it is also a statement to every American in this country who is participating in this flawed ass system that is keeping all of us under. The stage is a video game. We are the game pieces, and while we fight amongst each other, only the elite win. The revolution will not be televised. And a revolution is a lot more than just saying that a revolution is happening. It's people realizing that the game is over, that it's time to turn the TV off, and that it's time to get to work. But a revolution takes everybody getting on board. It takes everyone realizing that this is happening. And so, in a way, this performance was him pretty much signaling what we all know. He just used his platform to call the elephant.
There you have it, man. You know, people with understanding about what the Super Bowl show was about. Like, again, I told my wife, when that guy hits the stage, he's going to do something that those folks are going to regret that they had him up there for. And we have yet to see the backlash of Kendrick Lamar making such a poignant point during the Super Bowl performance. I believe he stuck it to him in a way that nobody else could have did, you know, because of his diabolical thinking and because he is well-tempered and mannered and disciplined, and he was able to get this. I'm sure during the rehearsals they didn't see what was going on. They didn't visualize none of the outfits and all that. They probably didn't have a dress rehearsal or anything like that, but so they entrusted PG Lang to do their own thing with this halftime show. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did, man. And you know what I'm saying? It was a super dope show. You know, even to the point where he was dissing Drake, like, you know, him doing Not Like Us or something that I was not expecting him to do. Like, I have been saying that I don't think he's going to do it because it really wasn't for me, it wasn't no reason for him to bring Drake into his moment. But when you add up to symbolism with everything that he was doing during the Super Bowl show and the fact that he called the man a colonizer on that song, it makes sense to me, you know what I'm saying? And it fit very well. You know what I'm saying? I love the show from the beginning to the end, and all the people who are saying that it was whack, you know, you have the right to your opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to bring you this information, and maybe you would change your mind about what you saw and what you thought you saw and really understand what it really was. Like the lady said, it wasn't a performance, it was a protest on national television. All the dancers were black. They had on red, white, and blue jail suits. They had the field looking like one of our neighborhoods with the street lights, but it was also looking like a prison yard because the majority of us in the black community do live in projects and prison type of environments, you know what I'm saying, where the police just come around and just, you know, always monitoring and surveillance and what we got going on, which is the Samuel Jackson character, you know what I'm saying, trying to tell a black man how to be black in America type of situation. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that to y'all and let y'all get a better understanding if you don't have an understanding about what you've seen during the Super Bowl. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Was it a dope performance? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What songs you think he should have did? You know what I'm saying? Are you happy with the ones that he did? You know what I'm saying? I heard people saying that SZA was lip syncing, but I didn't think she was lip syncing because it didn't sound like the track. You know, the only way when you lip syncing is gonna sound just like the song that you hear. Like when she was singing Luther, she didn't sound like the Luther when she was singing. You know, she didn't sound like the way she sang on the song. So I'm gonna debunk that one right here. I think they just good at what they do, man. You know, they do it. They take a lot of time over there at TDE and PG Lang to put these things together, man. And they don't take this shit for granted like a lot of people do. A lot of people think just because they can put some words together that they real rappers or something, or that they, you know what I'm saying, they deserve to be on and they deserve to have a deal. But I think Kendrick Lamar exemplifies what a real artist is in the hip hop space. You know what I'm saying? And we are. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself and us over here at the Rap Hustle. We are proud of everything that he has done thus far. And if he doesn't do anything else, he doesn't owe us anything, man. If anything, we owe it to him to further this situation and bring back some integrity to this culture, man. And that's what we're here for at the raphustle.com. If you're an independent artist, model, entrepreneur, or just somebody who loves hip hop, make sure you sign up for the raphustle.com, create your hustler's profile page, and let's